All right. All right. Let's talk about Billy Dozer. Uh, I'm pretty sure he took Josh Allen with his first pick. I mean, there's a lot to like about this team. Josh Allen, Kenny Walker, Luther Burden, Cade Otton, Rashee Rice, Ted McMillan, Ricky Pearsall. He did go down with a season-ending injury, so that's a blow. Malik, but he does get back. It looks like a healthy Malik Neighbors. I'm predicting, from what it's looking like, I'm not going to predict anything. It's looking like Malik Neighbors is going to be healthy more towards the middle and second half of the season. The Giants might, slow walk him a little bit, but I expect for him to return to form for the Giants. So there's a lot of Josh Allen gives Billy the highest weekly ceiling in the league. Josh Allen is Superman.
Back to pass, blitz coming. Allen steps up in the pocket. 40, 30, down to the 20. Allen looking for the end zone, and he's in for a 40-yard touchdown rip.
He finished 2025 with 3,668 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, and 579 rushing yards. And 14 of those scores were rushing scores. In a one quarterback league like ours, that kind of combo creates a major advantage on a weekly basis because he can produce elite fantasy totals, even when Buffalo is not having the greatest passing day. Ted McMillan, I think he showed himself to be a cornerstone piece of that up-and-coming Panthers franchise in a winnable division. As a rookie, he caught 70 passes for over 1,000 yards. He had 7 touchdowns, and he was healthy for all 17 games. He led all rookies in receptions and receiving yards. Of course, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. In a PPR Dynasty League, he should be treated as a long-term wide receiver 1 rather than a upside prospect sort of player. I like Ted McMillan. People are a little bit down on him this year, but I like him. Kenneth Walker, his stock is through the roof. He rushed for, aside from winning the Super Bowl, he rushed for over 1,000 yards.
It's about a 37-yarder from here to try to go up 2 scores. And they're going to keep it conservative from Myers. Walker on the run. He may bust a touchdown. He will! Backbreaker from Kenneth Walker III. And
he led the postseason with 313 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns before getting the MVP honors, right? He balled out of control, and that earned him a 3-year deal and ownership of the Kansas City backroom. Expect for him to be featured pretty heavily in the Chiefs offense after they finished 25th in rushing yards per game last season. They want to keep the pressure off of Patrick Mahomes. They are not going to have him running around all over the place. I don't even think he might be capable of doing that all over the, as much as he did in previous years. So he will be Kenneth Walker will be taking a lot of the pressure and workload off of a team that is going to have above average scoring opportunity. Malik Neighbors, I'm a Giants fan. Y'all know it. He went for 109 and 1,200 yards as a rookie, and he averaged for more than 15 yards per catch during his cut short 2025 season. He did tear his ACL, but if you're looking at training camp, like I've been looking at training camp, he's looking good. I suspect that he'll be back to full form around the midpoint of the season. Okay? Probably going to get off to a slow start, but he's going to be back to being an elite dynasty asset. Rashee Rice, Luther Burden, Ricky Pearsall is hurt. They also give this roster a lot of depth at the wide receiver position, with the exception of Ricky Pearsall, but there's also some uncertainty in those pieces. All right. The bad about this roster, he's pretty weak at running outside of Kenneth Walker. Chris Rodriguez, Ramondre Stevenson, and Brian Robinson are going to provide some usable weeks, but none of those players offer a combination or have the secure workload that I would prefer in my RB2. The success of this team is going to be heavily dependent on Kenneth Walker staying healthy. I don't have a lot of faith in that. We know his injury history. He was healthy last year, but we all know running backs who get all those touches, they tend to regress. Cade Otton is good. He'll be useful. And AJ Barner has some developmental appeal, but neither of them provide like an advantage at the tight end spot that you would want. Trey McBride, they're no Trey McBride, they're no Brock Bowers. All right. Let's recap on that for a second. Neighbors is returning from a torn ACL. Rashee Rice's availability and offensive role is going to have to be monitored. Nothing set in stone with that. Luther Burden is still establishing his weekly consistency. Shaheed and Malik Washington may be better used as matchup plays than automatic starters. Ted McMillan is excellent, but asking him or expecting him to carry the wide receiver room while Neighbors recovers could create uneven early season production. The ugly part. What the hell is going on in 49ers world? They're cursed for real. Ricky Pearsall's season-ending injury, major dynasty blow. He's going to miss the entire 2026 season, and he's going under surgery. Still young enough to hold, but you can't count on him as a usable depth piece during this team's rebound from 5-9. And that exposes the central problem with this roster. There's plenty of recognizable names, but not enough dependable weekly starters. A 5-9 team can't rely entirely on ceiling. Neighbors, Pearsall, Rice, Burden, Shaheed, Bryce Young, and the secondary running backs all carry some combination of health, role, or consistency concerns. The roster could look dangerous when everyone is available, but it could also spend another season cycling through uncertain flex options. He has some work to do in the draft this year. Inefficient depth at quarterback as well. Josh Allen should start almost every single week. Bryce Young and Mac Jones are largely expendable on this roster in a one quarterback format. They might be more useful as trade assets if you ask me.